welcome to the Red Half of Sheffield preview pod. We are back for hopefully, our most competitive game of the year in fellow championship promotion rivals, whatever the hell you want to call us. AKA two of the bottom three is Sheffield United host Luton. And I am joined from We Are Luton Town podcast. Ollie, how are you doing this Christmas Eve morning in America, Christmas Eve afternoon in the UK?
I'm doing all right. It's just gone 1 o'clock here. Looking forward to Christmas tomorrow, but very much looking forward to Boxing Day because Boxing Day is when Luton Town get out the bottom three.
So confident. Probably. Hopefully it is the closest thing back to a championship game I've seen in how many league games have we played? 18, maybe 16, 17. I don't even know how many we played. Hopefully it's a cagey open like 6-5 goal thriller, and we just show everybody how fun the championship is as they piss on this Premier League. Ollie, so I guess we'll get into it. Sum up Luton's season till Boxing Day. Is it where you expected Luton to be this far into the season?
Yeah, well, we played 17 games. I'd say it took a good 10 games for us to get to grips with the championship. It really did. But I would say over the last 7 games, we really have turned a corner. Everything's been really tight in terms of all our games have been absolutely tight affairs. So I think there's no chance that we have a 6-5 or a 5-4 or anything like that. Even looking at the previous Luton Town, Sheffield United games, they've all been very tight affairs with just, one goal in it. We beat you 1-0 last season. Then we drew at the beginning of last season. You beat us 2-0 in 2022 in the 21-22 season. Then we played out a 0-0 draw. So they've been very tight affairs. But going back to our season, it's been steady progress, really. We started off very naively. I'm sure it's the same for Sheffield United, where you got absolutely tanked. What was it, 9-0?
8-0 against Newcastle.
8-0. Yeah. Got absolutely turned over by Newcastle.
Yeah.
The team we beat them 1-0 yesterday. But all our games have been tight affairs since the first 2, where we lost 4-1 to Brighton, then 3-0 to Chelsea. Only 1 goal in it every single game. Defensively, we're very sound, with the exception like our Brentford game and what was the other one? At the Aston Villa game. I don't know how you guys got a point against Aston Villa. Like, they just obviously didn't decide to turn up. But all our games have been tight. Defensively, we've been very sound. Although surprisingly, we only just picked up our first clean sheet of the season. And yeah, at the beginning of the season, I was expecting a relegation battle, but the players are doing exactly what I wanted them to do and what every fan wanted them to do. They're just giving it their all. They leave everything out on the pitch every single time. Now, after that performance against Newcastle, I hope they don't chuck in a shit performance against Sheffield United. That's all I ask.
You look at it and say, well, they gave everything in that 1-0 win yesterday, and what if they turn up and it's just they're flat and they don't have any fight in them, and we go and beat them. But hopefully it'll be, this is usually my favorite fixture of the season. Well, favorite part of the season where we play. It seems to almost resemble us playing in the championship the last couple of seasons by playing a game every 3 or 4 days. So who are the players, the ones to watch, quote unquote, for Luton?
So I would say the one to watch would be Ross Barkley. Now, I'd say out of the 3 teams that went up, Burnley, Sheffield United, Luton, Luton, hands down, without any doubt, signed the best player of those three clubs. With Ross Barkley, everyone was thinking, oh, he's finished. There's no chance that he's going to be able to, bring back that form that saw Chelsea sign him from Everton. But his performances, they're getting better each week. Now, you have a player that I'm very jealous of. I love Gustavo Hamer. He used to tear us to shreds with Coventry. He scored some absolutely fantastic goals. One of those goals being an absolute beaut into the top bins at Kenilworth Road. And then he also scored against us in the playoff final. He is a player I would have loved to have signed, really would have. But in lieu of having Gustavo Hamer in our team, Ross Barkley is poles apart. He really is. He is. If we couldn't have got Gustavo Hamer, that we didn't get him, Ross Barkley is probably the only player that would have brought to Luton what Gustavo Hamer probably could have.
Yeah.
And Ross Barkley's all action. He sits back and defends. He intercepts. He tackles. But he also can have a go from distance. So we saw that yesterday. He probably would have scored what would have been goal of the season had that gone. It had the crossbar been, an inch higher, that would have been goal of the season without a doubt. He threads balls through to the attacking third as well. He's all action. And it remains to be seen whether he's going to be partnered with Nakamba or Lokonga on Boxing Day. It'll be an interesting one because Lokonga, who we have on loan from Arsenal, he put in a really good performance yesterday. But I would say Ross Barkley is without doubt the one to watch out for. Also, you need to watch out for Chidozie Ogbene if he starts. Fastest player in the Premier League. Hopefully he's up against Basham. Is Basham your fullback?
Well, Basham was our fullback.
Oh no, is he? He had that horrendous injury, didn't he?
Yes.
Okay. Who's playing fullback for you guys at the moment?
Oh, we'd have Anel was out against Villa on Friday. We have Jackie Longthrow, Jack Robinson, Austin Trusty will throw in there, and then a mixture of George Baldock, Jaden Bogle, Max Lowe. Spin the wheel and throw the dart at the dartboard, and whoever it lands on is probably going to be playing back there. But yes,
that's going to be the case. Like, essentially, whoever goes up against our wingers, they have to have pace. Whether it's Andros Townsend, because he has a lot of pace. Jacob Brown, he has a lot of pace. Chidozie Ogbene, the fastest of them all. He's rapid.
Yeah.
So fast. And it's all about feeding those balls into Elijah Adebayo up top. And, he showed last season against Sheffield United what he can do. He made John Fleck look a right mug, didn't he?
Well, John, Jimmy, Bobby, Billy Fleck, or whatever the hell he is, he's past it as well. But God, Wilder will probably stick him in now. He'll probably watch this preview and be like, oh, I got to put John Fleck on the side.
I hope so. I hope
it does. So before I get to what you think is going to happen on Boxing Day, full-time whistle, last game of the season. Are Luton a Premier League team? Or are you joining us back in the Championship?
I think out of the teams that went up, I think we probably have the best chance to stay up because we recruited a mix of experience and youth, whereas Sheffield United's
we didn't recruit anybody.
Nah, the recruitment. I like the look of Vinny Souza. I think he's good. He's an interesting one. He's good in midfield. Gustavo Hamer, if you go down and we stay up, I'd love it if we signed him. I mean, he'd be tremendous. Burnley, they just signed a load of talent, with potential, but didn't sign any experience. So they're like headless chickens trying to play their way out from the back. And I feel with a win on Boxing Day, we can climb above Nottingham Forest, and I feel I predicted it before the Bournemouth game that was sadly abandoned. Not sadly abandoned, like it had to be abandoned.
Yeah.
But I predicted 12 points from the next 4 games, which was crazy optimistic. But I looked at the run that Bournemouth went on. They've won 5 games out of their last 6. So I'm sort of thinking, I've seen the hallmarks from Luton Town whereby we could do the same, because all the ingredients are there. Our home performances are absolutely fantastic. The only thing that was missing from them were points, and that was because we were just getting punished in the, late on in games. But we showed yesterday we're no mugs anymore. We know how to close out a game because Newcastle were throwing everything at us, and we managed to close it out. So I reckon it will be a tight affair on Boxing Day. It'll be very tight. I think there'll be 1 goal in it, and I think we can potentially nick it, I feel.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm kind of right there with you. I think there's only 1 goal in this game, and it's, please God, don't let it go to VAR, because if this game is decided by VAR, I'm probably gonna smash the TV that I'm watching it on. Yeah, I think it goes. This game could go either way, and that's with me even really being optimistic. Honestly, I think we lose. I think we lose 2-3-0.
That optimistic? Wow.
Well, I mean, me being optimistic, saying there's a goal in it and we could win, but I just think, I mean, you did touch on something, I believe, before we started recording. Wilder has changed this side, and this is the game to get something from up, because we're going to get stuffed probably 6-0 against City on the 30th. So it's either now or never. And I mean, yeah, because it's this podcast, I mean, I'll go 1-0 United, but like you said, it's going to be 1-0 either way. But I hope it's an open game like we saw last year between these two sides twice. I don't want one team to just sit back and have to defend. I want both teams to I want like possession to be like 53, 47, 52, 40, something where it's, it has the signs of a championship game, because that's what I miss in these games, because most of them now are walking. The opponent we are playing is just usually at a walking pace in our half, and like, okay, we're going to poke and prod. Oh, it's not working there. Okay, let's go down the other side. Oh, it's not working there. Okay, here it is. Here's the goal. But, yeah, it should be interesting.
I think you'll find the way that Luton Town play is to sit back and attack on the count. We like to counter-attack. However, looking at the numbers from last game, Luton Town had as much as 41% possession. See, that's quite high for Luton. This game could end up being end-to-end like a basketball game. It really could. And it will be fantastic for neutrals to watch that. It really will be. I do feel it'll be a very open game, and it's going to come down to how clinical both sides are.
Yeah, who takes their chances?
Exactly.
That's the biggest thing I think I've learned about United, and it piggybacks off the last time we were in this league. We never took our chances, and that's why we were down by Christmas of that first year. That's why we lost our first 20 games in a row, because we never took our chances. We're in the championship. The competition is more level, but you're going to have more than 1 or 2 chances per game. You're probably going to have 5 to 7 chances a game. So the odds of you taking one of those 5 to 7 chances is better than us having. I think at one point during Villa, I saw the possession stats we had 18% possession, and we didn't. I think we ended up with 1 shot on goal, and it was the goal. And it's like,
that's all you need.
We did take our chance. We did take our chances. It's just like they come so few and far between in this league. It's like, God, I just hate it because we don't score goals.
That's how it is. Like, look, if you don't take your chances, you can get punished quite badly. you got to be clinical. I have a question about Reece Norrington Davis. What happened to him? Because we had him on loan like 2 years ago.
Well,
he's been injured for a long time.
18 months.
Wow.
I want to say. No, maybe
for a
not.
hamstring injury.
Not 18 months. He went out in October of last season, I believe, against Coventry. And just an innocuous hamstring injury that kept him sidelined because he was in perfect form to feature for Wales at the World Cup last year and got hurt and didn't get a call up and missed the rest of last year's season. They never said what was wrong with him. And then once Wilder got reappointed, then all of a sudden, Reece Norrington Davis back on grass. Oh my God, he's training. We thought it was a Jack O'Connell type situation where Jack O'Connell came back too fast from injury and his career's over. But all signs are pointing to he might start to come back. He featured in our under 21s or under 23s, I believe, last Tuesday. We do have the FA Cup third round against Gillingham, so maybe he gets some minutes in there. I mean, we're probably going to need him to play in some more youth games before he gets in our side in a league game. But he's an exciting player. It's just with him being out so long, is it one of those deals where he comes back and is the shell of his former self? That's what I'm hoping we don't see. I'm hoping we get to see the guy that was hammering down the wings, running like his hair was on fire. He was even playing at the back for us last year in the championship and was doing incredibly well, and then pulls up with a hamstring and bam, gone.
That's the thing, because he was out for so long with a hamstring injury. It's over a year. Like I was thinking, because I hadn't heard anything about why he was out. I thought maybe he'd been banned for drugs or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was no news about it. So I felt maybe the club were hiding why he was not playing.
And it was weird because Heckingbottom never really came out and said what was wrong with players. Oh, they're just injured. Oh, they just picked up a knock. This and this and this. They never really gave a timetable for how long they were out. And yeah, like I said, R&D. No, last time we saw him was in the championship, and he might be out for the good majority of this, but hopefully we get to see him back in league play, hopefully before February.
He's in my bad books anyway, because we had him on loan for the first half of the 2021 season. He was great. He was doing really well. And then he agitated to get recalled so he could go out to Stoke on loan. And I remember from that interview he gave at Stoke, he said, moving to Stoke is the best chance I have to get promotion. It's very ironic.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. That's why he didn't want to stay at Luton.
Really?
And it's funny now that Luton are in the Prem with
Stoker.
Sheffield United. Stoke are just a dumpster fire, aren't they?
Yeah.
And and now we're above Sheffield United. So he's one I'd potentially take back if he's not completely finished after his injury. I always liked him. I thought he was very good.
Yeah, he is good. He's very injury prone. Even before last season, when we had him prior, he was seemed like he had an injury spell. It was just like, for as young as he was, to have all those injuries, like, man, what kind of player do we have here? He's not really developing. And there was talks of when he was in form that he was going to go out we did loan him out to you guys, and, but teams were going to come in and buy him. Then Heckingbottom did take a flyer on him, put him in the team, and he was absolutely killing it last year. And then he got injured. One more question. Internet froze. I believe my internet froze there. One more question before we get out of here, Ollie. You're alluding to it right now, or have done it during this pod. Your favorite match day beverage?
Well, my favorite match day beverage would be beer. currently today I'm drinking a Carlsberg, but when I'm at Kenilworth Road, I do tend to drink neck oil.
Neck oil. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. Hmm.
They
Hmm.
really improved the offerings at Luton when we got promoted. They
Oh,
really
really?
improved the infrastructure outside. So
Hmm.
before outside, it was you'd have Foster's, which is garbage,
Hmm.
or there was a nice IPA, but now they put in like loads more beer taps and
Oh, really?
kegs, and
Yeah.
it's really good. It's really improved the match day experience.
Always one of my grounds that have been on my bucket list to go see because you see the 9 million billion people that are, oh my God, you weigh in, you have to go through the backyard. So okay, we all
Look at
know.
these houses. Look at
Yeah.
these houses. Oh, I'm walking underneath them. Oh,
Yeah.
look, I'm looking at gardens. There's a trampoline over there.
Yeah. We've all seen it. We've all seen it.
People
But
forget
no, it's
that's
just
how football grounds used to be before
exactly.
before these big soulless megadomes that people
Hmm.
plant way outside city centres.
Hmm.
This is how it was.
Hmm. Yep. Exactly, and that's like that's like most of the people over here. They've never experienced such a small. I mean, Bournemouth is probably it's similar to the size of Luton,
Mm,
but the American fans over here have not seen a ground like that because, like you said, there are all these cookie cutter stadiums and cost billions of dollars to make and that's no fun. This is what football was made on, grounds like this in the middle of neighborhoods where that's how you get to the away end because they made it tough on the away supporters because piss off, what do you want 2,000 the away supporters to come in and have this is beautiful. No, you want to treat it like it's a away locker room. I'd make it absolute hell for away supporters.
I think we made it too nice now. Like when you see the away changing room, they've really jazzed it up.
Hmm.
And I think like if you're gonna win the psychological game, you got to make it as shit as possible.
Yep,
Like no
I
hot
agree.
water. They shouldn't have renovated it. They should have made it shitter, if anything.
Yeah,
Really,
right.
really get the psychological advantage.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Ollie, tell the people where they can listen to you on social media and follow you.
So yeah, you can check out We Are Luton Town on Facebook or Twitter. The specific podcasting arm of We Are Luton Town, you can find us at The Walk Podcast on Twitter. You can check us out on Podfollow as well.
Okay, good deal, good deal. So until Boxing Day, when the relegation championship rivals tangle at Bramall Lane, I'll leave you with this: up the blades.